Hello everyone and welcome to another Phyrexia All Will Be One traditional draft. Um, Alright, this is a pretty decent mythic rare, and when you first pick this, you should be able to get to 7 mana. Yeah, the problem with this card is the mana cost for sure, but 7 mana is doable if you can have a few more extra ways to produce mana than just having like 17 lands, because 17 lands decks um, can play games, very long games when they don't even draw the seventh land necessarily. So you need some help. I'm gonna take it. It's also mythic rare. I think I have like one of these. I want to, of course, complete the set. Another very good card would be the Ossification, just a very cheap removal spell. Um, so that's an easy pick as well here. And then the Serum Core Chimera can be really good. Even though it's two colors, I would be willing to first pick it. But now let's just take the mythic rare here. Oh wow, another ossification here. Okay, well, does this pack have something else? There is an annihilating glare, which is not as good as the ossification. I should take the best card here. I don't have to marry myself to green if green won't be open. Of course, I won't be drafting around this card at all. So I'll just take the best card and move on here. It could be a green-white deck, but I don't think that in a green-white deck you are that interested in ramping to a 7-drop. I think any other green color combination, other than the green-white, would be more suitable for the Tyrannax Rex, but we will see how the draft goes, of course. Okay. Well, I believe the best card in the pack is the Anoint with Affliction, just a very nice removal spell. The best green card is the Lattice Blade Mantis, unless you are really, focused toxic deck, then this might be a better card in some cases, but this is in a vacuum, just the better 4-drop out of these two. I don't mind the Ripskiff if you have easy ways to crew it. There are 2-drops with 3 power, for instance, 3-drops with 3 power. If you have a bunch of those in the deck, I like the Ripskiff. But I believe I'm just gonna take. The white cards are. Nah, I don't like the Vanish, because this always costs 6 mana to get rid of a creature, even though if it's an artifact creature. So I'm just taking the cheap removal spell, and there's the Phyrexian Atlas, which would work in a deck that has Tyrannax Rex, but let's see if I'm gonna go that route, because I don't see a lot of green, but the one green card in this pack is definitely good. Now it's not going to be the card I'm picking here, because there's a drown in Ichor. Now the Phyrexian Arena is a little bit of a risky thing. You have to keep drawing cards and losing life, and that can sometimes be a liability in limited. I do think it might be a good sideboard card, perhaps. But even if I would be willing to pick this, I would not be taking it over Drowning Ichor, which is just such an efficient removal spell. And I just took a black card here, so I'm just gonna pick this thing, which is the best card in the pack. And now I see a Green Sun's Twilight, also a Vivisection Evangelist. Now this is interesting pick. I do see some other green stuff too. The Rustvine Cultivator would be good with the Tyrannax Rex, but I think that Twilight is. Yes, you can also get the land, and if I would play green, I would be interested in picking lands here. So X equals 4, maybe. Well, you would prefer to have it X equals at 5, but if you have a little bit cheaper cast on this spell, you might still get 2 cards out of it. But I could take the Evangelist. The thing is, I'm not sure if I have that much. Well, if I would be black and white, I would be a poison deck for sure. Okay, let's take the Green Sun's Twilight. I see so much green here. You could take the Evangelist and just try to force, black and white. But I haven't seen that much white coming to my direction. I think the Evangelist was there mostly because it's black, and black clearly is open here. So I could be a green-black here. And here I think I'll just take the 2-drop here. I'm not going to be like too crazy with the toxic stuff here, but definitely I need some 2-drops. Well, I have 2 mana spells, but not creatures. So I'm gonna take this over something like a head cleaver here. It seems green, black are the the open colors at least. Alright, so how about here then? Well, I could see, picking like any of these, maybe the Necrogen Communion, not that much, even though this can be a decent card in some decks where you have a lot of evasive creatures, which won't be green-black most often. Raska's Fall is not... I have some removal already. I think I should just take a creature, but is it gonna be the Haster or the 4-drop? Let's take the Haster here. Yeah. Don't think I care about the Aspirant too much. And I think I should cut the ossification, or let's say put to the sideboard for now, but it's still a splashable removal spell, especially if I draw pick something else that is white and splashable. I could consider it a splash, but this is a triple green card, something also to keep in mind. Here, sideboard card, I don't think this 2-drop is what I'm looking for. Titanic Growth is fine. I don't know, let's take the Pump spell, it's at least something I'm happy to main deck. Right, so this is actually a deck where I might play the Expand the Sphere just because of this 7-drop here. But this has also Infectious Inquiry and the Branch Blight Stalker here. Card draw is also good when you want to hit your 7th land drop. But I think I still take the 2-drop here. And I would have maybe played this card if it was the best option in the pack. Okay, I got Annihilating Glare here pretty late. I don't have any that amazing sacrifice for there, but it's fine to play at 5 mana too. And then, okay, Phyrexian Atlas, I think I will play it because of the 7-drop. And this doesn't matter. Okay, I still got a Plague Nurse, which I might play. I might actually play the Testament better, I quite like it. It's also one way to get to, my 7th land for the Tyrannax here. Okay, how about this pack here? Azuri, yeah, it's not exactly a card I'm willing to splash, but this would be an interesting card to run in a green-blue deck because those two colors have some nice access to proliferating effects. You don't have to play this thing for 7 mana, you just can play that 4 mana and then use your other proliferate stuff to draw cards. Anyway, not gonna be the pick here. I think it might be the Vital Spawning. Just 2 3/3s in one card. There is the evasive toxic creature as well. But I think I'll take the 3-drop here. This thing also has toxic, this token I mean. So let's take it. Mirex. Yeah, this is... Okay, yeah, this on the turn you cast it, it makes any mana, and then you can start making those mites. Anything else in here? Well, there is some other stuff too, because this of course is only producing colorless mana after the initial turn. Yeah, I don't think I want to have to use effectively 4 lands to make 1 might, because this deck can be a little bit mana hungry, I believe. So I could take the Edict here, or I could take the Basilisk. I think I like the Basilisk slightly more than the Edict here. Okay, there's a Whisper of the Dross. There's a Lattice Blade Mantis, but I have some 4-drops here. I don't mind playing these. So that's not a high priority anymore. I also like the Dross Pits. 14 cards. Pack 2, pick 3. I don't think I'm gonna run out of cards. I'm gonna take the land. I believe it's like a strict upgrade sort of to the deck. Yeah, the Whisper is okay, but I don't need it necessarily that much. I'm not having any kind of a red splash, so this is not necessary. Copper Longlegs for 2-drop, Head Cleaver for a 4-drop. Alright. I have like a couple of corrupted payoffs, the Spawning and the Atlas. And I guess this one is a decent corrupted payoff as well. And this 2 for Menace Toxic 2 guy is of course quite good at, giving the opponent a corrupted status. But I also still would just actually prefer to have some early game, but maybe I can get stuff like the long legs later on. I'll take one of these many toxic guys now. Alright, here Plague Nurse, Cruel Grimnage. I do like the Grimnage actually. Now I'm playing cards that accelerate me a little bit. Well, this one card and this can get me a land, I suppose. Maybe the 6-drop isn't the worst idea. This is after all a 4 mana 3/4. Yeah, I think I'm gonna actually take this value card. Okay, Skitterling is good, but I don't know how easy is it gonna be to give the toxic, give enough poison to the opponent. I do have ways to give them poison, but it's just not necessarily that consistent. But the question is, of course, if I'm gonna take another Claire over the Skitterling. That's the actual question. Okay, I think I'll just take the removal spell. Let's try to be a little bit more controlling. Okay, now there's no question about what's the pick here. This is such an amazing card. Yeah, the Rot Priest is just a total one of the better of these, gold uncommons. Alright, let's take it and move on. And here, another Vraska's Fall, another Plague Nurse, another Hunter Maze. I don't have any Vraska's Falls yet. Am I supposed to play one of these? It's a card you can sideboard out if the opponent has a lot of easy fodder to sack it. I could take the Hunter Maze, so I think I'll just keep taking these lands. I might even be an 18 land deck, who knows. Here, that's not a bad one, permanent card, but I think I should take the long legs. I don't actually have that much early game, so let's just take the long legs now. That's fine. And I think now I can take a Sildress Edict over a sideboard Duress, yeah. And, well, let's take the Uncolorous Skullbomb. I won't necessarily play it main deck, but it's a possibility. I can still take another Copper Longlegs here over Duress. Okay. So I have now 24 cards, but bunch of non-lands. Lands. Okay, that's 22 non-lands total. Okay, there's a Mythic Rare, which I probably will take. I could splash for the white hand blue here if I get enough fixing, but I don't know. I think the Blightbelly rat would be the pick here actually, if there wasn't a Mythic Rare. But I have the Phyrexia Atlas. I don't have any Evolving Wilds though. The Atlas is the only mana fixing card here now, so it's unlikely I'm gonna play it, but I'll take it for completing the set. Otherwise the rat is the pick. But I have now enough to, maybe not enough, but I have a lot of 2-drops, so I can easily just find maybe 1 or 2 more 2-drops and then I'm happy about that. Plus I have a 2 mana removal which I can use early in the game to keep the board sort of even. Alright, so here Thermophic Expanse is probably the peak. I don't think that Mantis is now needed. I have 4-drops which I can play. The Expanse is gonna make it easier to, for example, hit my triple green here, even though it's a 7-drop. You can still have, 5 swamps and 2 forests if you're unlucky. Let's take the Expanse over a third of these glares. And Wrath of Rebirth. Yeah, that's a pretty slow one. 4 royal counters. Yeah, I have some proliferating, but not maybe too much to make this very consistent. So I don't think I'm gonna play that when I have the option of just taking a Blightbelly rat, which I passed when I took the Mythic Rare. So now I still got one of those at least. And here another Stalker, Offer Immortality. How many spells do I have? How many creatures are 13? Although this thing is a creature. This one, so basically 14. The Offer Immortality can still be good, especially with the Head Cleaver. I don't know if I want to have a third of these long legs. I could take a Mantle, but let's take the Offer Immortality. I like that trick. I have one Titanic growth, so that's kind of a similar purpose as for the mantle. Okay, I get another Anoint with Affliction. That's an easy pick here. I have actually a lot of removal in this deck. And it's not impossible to get the corrupted status for the opponent with this deck. So this can be a very efficient removal spell, of course, when it exiles any creature, regardless of the mana value. Okay, so here another Basilisk. Well, it's easy pick over there, Centurion. I'm already going to cut some cards, but it's good to round up with these 3-drops because I actually am lacking a little bit of 3-drops, so I believe I will be playing both of the Basilisks, at least in the main deck. Nimbrazer Paladin. Wow, that's a really good card. Target creature with mana value 3 or less. Well, I will have enough of those. That's just value. I'm gonna take it over the other 5-drop, which is not as good. And this thing here, yep, Paladin is really nice. Necrosquido. Okay, maybe not really for this deck. This is better when you have a lot of Proliferate. I don't think I will have that much of Proliferate in the deck, but I don't think I really need the Thirsting Roots either. I'm actually taking these maybe for the sideboard. I could see, using the flyer somehow. And here, I could still take one of these Communions I've been seeing in this draft. But it's not like kind of it's more like a controlling deck than fast poisoner. I'm gonna take this sideboard card instead. And here this thing says, no, it's a 3 mana 2/2 in the end. I'll just take the Mantis, but probably not gonna play some of the 4-drops at least. I don't think I'm gonna play 2 Titanic Growths. Let's just take the uncommon. And let's take the uncommon here too. There are 2 options. Sure. I have 1 Custodian, I'm not gonna play that anyway. Okay. Seems like I have 4 cuts. Because I do have the Green Suns, sorry, 5 cuts actually. I have the Green Suns Twilight and I have the Phyrexian Atlas. Those are ways to find my 7th land drop. So I have only 1 6-drop, 1 7-drop, couple of 5-drops. So I think it will be 17 lands with all this stuff. I also have a bunch of removal, which usually means that game goes longer when you have a removal. So you are more likely to have time to hit your land drops for your 7-drop thing. So let's cut at least some of the 4-drops. I like the Testament better though, at least in the main deck. I think I'm actually going to cut the Mantis because I have enough poison, synergies in here that I should play the Plague Nurse over the Mantis. So let's do that. Dross Skullbomb is... Oh, by the way, you can sack an artifact too, although you don't get to draw a card from this thing if you just sack it for some other effect. Regardless, this is something I could maybe not play in the main deck. Do I need the Edict when I have a couple of these afflictions? I think the Edict is better as a sideboard card when I know that the opponent doesn't have like the kind of a cheap, easy sacrifice fodder. If they play a heavier mana curve, maybe I can just bring this in, but my removal is plentiful enough. But I'm also thinking that do I want to play 2 of these Clairs because they are quite often gonna be 5 mana spells, or it's not really nice to sacrifice your creatures. Let's see the 2-drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I'm gonna play all of those. 3 more cuts. Am I gonna start cutting my removal after all? How necessary is the Cruel Grimnock? I quite like it that, it's a 5/5 Death Toucher also that gives you some kind of a value when it enters the battlefield, whether it's opponent discarding or you gaining 4 life. I could see cutting 1 more of these 4-drops. Maybe the Tyrannax Atrocity. that is only, well, actually it is 16 creatures for now because the spawning counts as one. So I could see cutting a creature. Yeah, I don't know about the hasty guy. Maybe the Titanic growth can be cut now that I do have the offer immortality, which I would like slightly more. And then I'm thinking about the skull bomb. It's a little bit of extra value. You can always, just cycle it for basically 2 mana total, or then get some value. And this deck has, the removal to kind of drag the game a bit. So this kind of a even more expensive value card can be quite nice in the end. So that's why I'm thinking about having it still in the deck. But I do need to cut, I believe, 2 more cards. Yeah, that's for sure. Maybe 1 Annihilating Glare can be cut, because it is. I want to play that 5 mana, and that's quite expensive. Because I have these 5 drops, which I kind of want to play, plus the 6 drop and the 7 drop. So should I just actually cut the Grimnark from the main deck, and then I can sideboard it in if I know I have time to cast that card? I feel like it's either gonna be the Atrocity or the Cruel Grimnark that I'm going to cut. And maybe I have enough toxic synergies that the Atrocity should be played. Okay, let's cut the 6 drop, and that's the deck. I will keep the Skull Bomb for, to be a kind of a value machine. And I can see cutting something like these long legs against certain kind of opponents to bring back some more expensive stuff like the Grimnark or the Claire. But yeah, let's put the lands now in, and it's going to be well, even amount of green and black, but I have a double green and I have a triple green. I have nothing that is even double black, so I don't think it's gonna be 7/7 basics here now. It's going to be actually 8/6, so 8 of these forests and 6 of these swamps. That is still going to be a fairly decent amount of black mana, because that's of course the draw speed is black source, the expanse is a black source. That's like a 8 sources to hit my 2 drops, and once I can have the Phyrexia Atlas up, it's already 9th source. And this is enough green to usually be able to cast my double caster and the triple caster when I otherwise have the total amount of mana for him. So yeah, this was certainly some nice cards I cut. Grimnark, Claire, the Mantis. But I feel like this is a good mix of early mana curve removal and still ways to get value and have some big plays to win the game. So let's go and play some matches. Okay, 3 drop, 4 drop. That's good enough. Because these are both very defensive, even if the opponent comes blazing out the gates. I should have this should stabilize quite nicely. I wanted to use the expanse right away because I don't necessarily want to draw any lands here. Okay. So I have a couple of reach guys for this thing. Not that I care about a 1/1 that much. Okay, that's just a 3/3. They can sack these to add mana that allows them to cast artifact spells. They can sack an artifact, which this is. Get red, and then they can play up to 6 mana artifact. Okay, this thing gets some oil when. Okay, they have the efficient removal. That's what I was nasty because they had a 2 drop and removal spell on my thing. Alright, well now I will be actually playing the Testament Bearer first. I'm willing to trade this with any of these. So this thing can make their stuff fly. Oh, look at this. The opponent just has the perfect... they needed only the one permanent with only one permanent with the oil counter. So now they can make this 4-2 to fly. Well, actually I can anoint that thing, but... Oh, sadly I don't have a 2-drop, a 3-drop to combine with it. Oh man, I just lose here. Well, because this thing goes to my hand, not to the battlefield. So 3-1 or a 1-3 Death Toucher, which one is preferred? I guess I'll take the 1-3 here. But the other surgeon can make their 4-2. They can attack me to at least 4 life. They still continue having. Look at this. They just had the perfect. Alright. That was actually lethal. Exactly 9. So that was just them having interaction. Well, they killed 3 of my. Well, actually, all creatures I played, they killed. So yeah, that works. Especially. 2 of those turns were like, you know, they played the surgeon and the kill spell, and then they played a creature that also was a kill spell, so that was just tempo also. Well, what to do against such stuff? Well, I have most of my defensive stuff, so the question is, do I want to play something like a Sheoldred's Edict, but that's so miserable against the Malcator's Watcher. Can't really say I like that too much. Yeah, I do have a defensive place, defensive removal here. I don't think it's a problem to stay in the game. I was just, the opponent just had a little bit too good stuff going on there. Don't think I really want to change anything. Maybe the Testament Bearer could be, you know, for example, either the Edict or maybe just the Titanic Growth. It helps against burn-based removal. Could be the Mantis too. Tough one. Could be the Canopy, but I saw only like one, you know, aura. This thing. Don't care about killing the Watcher or this one either. So let's just have I guess the Edict after all. Just buying some time. If that's gonna be the tempo they are gonna have, I want to have cheap interaction, even though it might hit the annoying 1-1 that draws them a card. Okay, 2-drop, 3-drop. Both games 5 landers, but what can you do? Well, let's hope they don't have the 1-1 because it's such a perfect blocker on this thing. I do have the long legs to, you know, keep it up. Okay, now this is perfect. They have a play, but no, not anything that affects the board. So I can just apply more stuff in here and probably will be corrupting them. And once they are corrupted, they will be gaining, you know, taking life loss from this thing for the remainder of the game. Okay, that's the best thing they have. Now they might be in actual trouble here. Because now they are gonna take life loss from this thing every turn. And they have no means to apply any pressure here. I'm the one who's actually beating them. Plus I can return the Death Toucher with the Paladin here. Okay, that's not even doing anything. They don't even have a good block here. Sadly, I don't have any good attack here either. I don't know, attack I had, but no good play. I'm not going to play the Paladin yet, at least. I know I can, you know, proliferate and then get it back, but let's see if that's even going to be necessary. to 12 now. Okay, Plague Nurse. I do have mana to play and activate it. So the question is... yeah, let's do that. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, they don't have quite the same tempo as in the previous game now. They're gonna jump block the Basilisk, so there's no point using the Nurse now. That 5-5 is good, but I still get to push with my Death Toucher against that guy. And it's gonna be 2 poison thanks to the Plague Nurse. So, very good for me. So they are now at 6 poison, which means that... well, they're also at 8 life with this thing here. This has menace and reach, but excuse me, it doesn't have vigilance, so if they wanna attack with it, I will be able to just you know, take it and then... okay, that's 1 damage to something, it doesn't matter. They can kill that. Okay. Not gonna proliferate at this point. I believe they are going to... oh. Well, can't be countered. Ward 4, Trample, Toxic 4. So this is 8 power. They have to put actually all of their guys in front of this. And they will lose all of their guys. Unless they have a trick of some kind. But yeah, let's of course go here now. And do I want to... well, they can't bounce or anything, this guy, so I think the Plague Nurse is a safe attack. Actually, everything is a safe attack now. Because they have to put all 3 here. They can't give this -1. They can give their own guy like a pump. A little bit of a pump. Okay, let's keep the long legs at bay here. Attack with the rest. Let's just use this one too. Okay, that's still not gonna... they still have to put 5-5 on the Rex. Because it will, you know, deal 4 poison when it tramples even 1 point. And they are at 6 poison, so they have to put 8 toughness on front of it. Which means the Sky Warden, one of the 2 toughness guys and the Surgeon. Then they can, you know, trade with the Basilisk. I will lose my Rex, of course, but they also take... they have to... yeah, they actually block the Nurse here. No, they... okay, that's also a thing. This is all fine. All those trade, they are going to 8 poison now. Yep, so I have already lethal with the double proliferate here. I have a lethal with 4 times of Phyrexia and Atlas activation. I don't think they're gonna deal 18 to me, even if they kill both of my guys. Yeah. So that was the first pick of the draft doing some work. So they have the Sky Warden. That's a big guy. The Prowler is there. I still didn't see... I saw 1 dose. I don't think I'm going to sideboard in the the card that destroys an enchantment. But I feel like... oh, what's happening to my voice? I feel like I want to play the Claire here. It's also good to... damn it. Also good to sacrifice things that are locked down by the aura here. So I might as well play both of the copies here. Cutting... what exactly? What did I sideboard in? Do I need the Skull Bomb? It might be a little bit too slow actually. I should have maybe cut that already. Did I sideboard something specific which I don't remember anymore? I took the 4-1 away. I put another. Yeah, Sealder's Edict is in the deck. Alright. Yeah, I don't think I need the Titanic growth that much. This is fine. Well, I guess I keep getting these 5-landers, but it's actually still acceptable because I have a 2-drop and a 3-drop here. And at least I didn't immediately draw a land here. Okay, no 1-1 guy there. That's good. Counterspell. Okay. Okay, that thing can do some nasty damage, but I will have a 3-3 toxic one here. Well, I got my Tyrannox mana again if I just draw it. So if they have an artifact enter the battlefield, they will get to attack for 4 points. That can get nasty if they can chain into artifacts. Okay, Mobilizer can buy them some time. That taps artifacts or creatures, yep. Okay, there's a glare which can't do anything right now. Let's see if they're gonna go for the tapping. Yes, they are. If they can proliferate more counters to this thing, this actually could be horrible because, you know, I drew no more creatures. I have drawn 4 more cards, none of them was a creature here. So they can just play artifacts, attack for 4. Yeah. I think this is gonna be a very sad game if I don't draw any creatures now. Man. I do have to actually kill the 2-2 just to, you know, not totally die here. Yeah. It really messed up. Man, not drawing any creatures when they have the immobilizer there, that is such an annoying thing. Well. I have to just, you know, I just have to, you know, try to survive. I guess they can stop, you know, drawing artifacts here or something. And then the Eye of Malcator won't be doing damage all the time. Okay, they bounce that. Proliferate, yeah. That gave Immobilizer another counter, and now they have an artifact again. Yeah, this is a kind of a joke of a game, because I just lose to not drawing any creatures here. And they have the annoying immobilizer there. So yeah, that does some serious work when your opponent has only 1 creature. And they are not running out of gas. At least that is not an artifact, so that's not gonna give them Malcator an attack here. And I can cast in the draw spits. But okay, well that does help a little bit, but only a little bit. I think I'm gonna first just draw a card here. Because now any artifact they're gonna draw is gonna be so bad for the Malcator. Well, that's gonna help more than a little bit. But I don't still think... Well... I don't know. I'm gonna use the affliction on their turn. This is a 3-drop and this is a 3-drop. So I'm gonna eat the Malcator if... Okay, well that happened. And now I can exile the Iron Goblin. And they get, of course, proliferate on this thing. They will get now the Rex. They don't have the ward, of course, for it. So they're gonna take the 4 here, 4 poison here, but it's not gonna be necessarily that great. Because I'm losing to a Malcator attack very easily here now. My vital spawning is on the other hand now active, so that is good. If they don't draw an artifact right now, okay, they did not. They can pay 4 mana to tap my Rex here, but that means I can have 2 other blockers up. Okay, so now the Watcher is only a 5-turn clock and I have blockers for the Malcator. Oh, that's bad. But they can't. Okay, well, now let's see how this goes. Because I don't know if this is gonna be quite enough unless I draw something exactly like this. Okay. Well, this is exactly what I needed to draw there. Okay. I don't have mana for Offer and Death Touch, but it doesn't actually matter because Offer gives Death Touch. The passive ability in here is the thing that actually matters. They can tap down the 3/3 or something. But... no, but they can block with... the problem is they can block with the Watcher. Oh man, that's gonna be so nasty. Because they're gonna go to 9. They're gonna go to 9 here. Poison, I mean. Oh yes, they did that. Man, this is so good. I mean, I have the onboard trick here. I'm still gonna use the Offer to save this thing here, but... I mean... this is... let's save the creature, right? And that was the last counter from the immobilizer. That can't tap down anything. Even if they draw an artifact, I can block the... yeah, proliferate doesn't help now. The immobilizer doesn't get a counter here, so they can find an artifact, but I have a blocker for an artifact. Wow, that Rot Priest... I mean, all they had to do there is to take the Rex here and, you know, jump block the 3/3 with the Watcher, not their massive flyer. So I'm very happy they chose to block that way. Because, you know, I didn't have to have the Offer Immortality. I had this giving Death Touch to that guy anyway. But hey, my first pick was really relevant there. That seemed very bad, the game to 3 there, but the Mythic Rare to the rescue. Okay, another 5-lander. No, 2-lander. But it is 2-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop. If I draw any land, I cannot play 3 of my spells. I can already play 2 of my spells. But of course, if I don't draw a land, it's gonna be horrible. And they have a good blocker on there. Well, okay, this is fine. They had a good blocker on the 3-1, but at least I drew a 2/2 now. That can still deal them a poison damage. Okay, that's gonna grow out of hand. I need some removal as well, but I also need a land. Oh, that's gonna give this guy to... Why is the opponent having such a nice draw here? Well, let them take poison at least while I can still attack for a bit. Land was very good. Just get me the forest, I suppose, right away. And then I can play this thing to, you know, block this adaptive, because if they're gonna use 2 mana on this, I don't think they're going to, you know, be able to otherwise grow this guy. So I can actually block the adaptive. But not on the next turn anymore. It will be a 4/4. I need a Death Toucher. I don't have a Death Toucher right now. Oh, they're gonna actually go for this. Wow, I'm so happy. Such a good trade for me. Okay, well, all I need time is time to draw some lands now. Okay, so let's attack. Maybe they will trade. I don't mind if they block here. I can proliferate them another poison counter here, and now I can just play the spawning. If they didn't block there, I would have just played the 1/3, you know, to trade with the Stalker instead. Now if this thing connects, they will be corrupted, and that allows me to, you know, recast the Vital Spawning from my graveyard. But they have now 3 mana. Do they have a good block on the 3/3? Shouldn't be a problem to have a 3-drop with 3 power, although that doesn't have it. I would really wish to have a land there, but let's of course trade with the Cackler. No point. I mean, it can be a very scary card. Oh, they actually did that. That's fantastic, because now I can do this. Wow. They allowed me to immediately flashback this guy. Oh well. That's good now. So I kept the 2-lander, and well, one of the land, the one land was a Terramorphic Expanse. I guess I have drawn 4 cards. Well, one of them was a land, so I guess it's pretty normal. So they can now give it 2 oil counters to a artifact or a creature, draw a card. This thing gets some pumps. Yeah. Don't know if I'm gonna block it though. They might have the trick that, you know, is +2/+2 for 1 red mana. I'd rather raise. Okay, they didn't attack here, so... Well, at least I got my 4th land. Well, not land, but mana source. Which also will make them lose life. Okay, I can take this attack. So now they have to also be careful about the life total they have. I'm not gonna get to 7 mana before this game is over, I'm pretty sure. But I have, you know, stuff to play. Because the Atlas is gonna make them lose 1 life per turn now. They can't just take both of these, they have to have at least a blocker. But if they can have a blocker that can, you know, like a 3/4 or something like that. Well, that is not a 3/4. Okay, they didn't attack with the Scamp for some reason. Are they gonna jump block with it? Maybe they are. Okay, I got my Death Toucher, that's good. This thing doesn't get trampled, by the way. Alright, well, not really much else than attacks here. I'm totally fine with them blocking with the Mantis. But they're gonna race now. Okay. So... okay, they are not gonna race. Well, that's very good news, because of course my hand can, you know, and a board state here can make me win the game here. I just don't wanna die to this Trampler. It is gonna be a 2/3 now. At least, yeah, I think now it's time to just play the Testament better. I would rather just get, you know, you know, a land, but some kind of card from this anyway. I'm willing to trade with this guy. Even if they play an oil counter creature, I will be able to trade with this. No problem at all. They might even have to just, you know, not attack. But if they do attack, I will just trade. Because I have enough stuff in here so that I don't have to take any extra damage. I can keep the board very clear for them. This 3-1 is gonna block the 3-1 is gonna block the 3-3 for sure. I take one here anyway because it trambles, but now let's take a land most likely. Land most likely. Head Cleaver is good though, but I have here playable spells. Yeah, I'm gonna take a land. And who knows, maybe I actually get to the Tyrannex Rex mana at some point. Yeah, let's trade here. No problem with that. They don't even... Wow. What's with that? Now, I was going to play the Nimriser Paladin. Taking back the Blightbelly Rat, maybe? But now it might be safer just to play two guys here. Because I definitely don't want to now block all their attacks. I don't want them to have the +X pump effect or something. To win, you know. Okay, they have the mantle. But this is a flash thing. Interesting. So, just no trample here, so I'm gonna just... it's hexproof, it's not indestructible. Oh yeah, this doesn't give indestructible. Only hexproof. Well, I mean, that's easy then. That's very easy then. Death Toucher works. Alright, now they will die. Right. I assume they will die, so... Okay, that was weird. Okay, so... They have some toxic 2-drops, so not all is about oil stuff. Them trading this early in the game when they had the Skull Bomb was crazy, because this was a 2-2, they could have made it into a 4-4, and I didn't even draw any of my removal, which was kind of annoying, because I have a bunch of removal in the deck. But yeah, now again, aggressive red-green deck, I will only play things that help me, you know, survive here. I'm gonna take the Sheoldred's Edict for sure. I think again the Testament Bearer is a bit clumsy maybe, and the draw Skull Bomb might be a little bit slow, so let's play something else. I could just play the Annihilating Glare, but I could also play a Titanic Growth here. It's usually okay against red-green. Yeah, let's take the Growth. And that's the deck. After sideboarding. Okay, the opponent did use all the sideboarding time, and now they are not deciding whether to go first, but they are actually losing their time out there now, so not sure if they're gonna immediately concede or... Yep. That was the match then. They just disappeared after game 1. Okay, final match, and I have something else than a 2 or a 5 land starting hand. That's both colors as well. Can curve out here. Opponent mulligans. 2, 2, 4, 4. They went to 5. Alright. They have a chase sleeve here. Well, let's see if they can keep 5, or yeah, they did keep 5. And I'll just get my swamp to avoid misclicking, you know, taking a turn, forgetting to click this thing. That could be annoying. Okay, that's actually quite nice. That's the 4th land, which I can play tapped on the next turn by just using the Blightbelly Rat, or maybe Anoint with Affliction if I need. Okay, no proliferating with that thing. Yeah, I have a pretty darn good curve out here because I have these nice 4-drops too. They can 1-for-1 as much as they want. Of course, they mulligan to 5, so I'm not going to run out of resources before them. No, that has menace. Let's see. I kind of want to corrupt them. Yeah, let's make them have more removal. This is harder to burn. There's a 5-mana sorcery that can burn this guy. There's a pacifism effect, but then that will leave the triggered ability still up. The pacifism effect is an arrest effect, so I can't use the activated ability. But the passive ability that makes them take an additional poison will still be there. Okay, so now I'll see if this is gonna work. They're gonna take 3 poison. They are corrupted now. Sadly, I didn't draw a, 5th land there. I can take the 3 here. I'll just play my 4-1 here. I'm more likely to win with poison, but it's still a good blocker. At some point I might be even able to block some of their stuff. And I will anoint this away. Although now my anoint kills anything, they are corrupted. But okay, still no. Well, I guess I'll just deal some damage here. I know I could have left this barrier to block because I think I'm gonna win with poison here now. But this is pretty safe. I can play the long legs and then I can use the anoint with affliction. Or the offer immortality actually. I don't think they're gonna deal 14 to me. This thing cares about number of equipped creatures. Yeah, it has some oil. Okay, when it attacks, right? They get to draw a card. Yeah. Okay, that's that. Now I will try to exile it. No cards for you. Now they are gonna now lose to the Rot Priest and Proliferate if they didn't leave a blocker. Now I get my hasty guy, so let's just do like this. They're basically gonna force to jump block here. Jump block the atrocity, go to 9 poison, lose this guy, then I have Proliferate and all that. Well, they did mulligan to 5 there, but they had this interaction. I have to try to... Yeah, the Hex Gold Slash is so good. For example, it kills this thing with 1 mana. It kills also this thing with 1 mana. I'm gonna again take the Edict just to have some early game stuff. I don't play the Skull Bomb, and again the Testament Barrier is too slow. It seems like I'm sideboarding in the same way in each of these games, but they are all quite aggressive decks, and of course this format is very, very aggressive. Is the Mere Custodian something I could play as a defensive 3-drop? Why does this thing have to give them the Scry 1? There was a 3-mana 3-2 in an earlier set that allowed you to Scry 2. Well, because I'm thinking between Titanic Growth and the Mere Custodian. This is a decent defensive card. Can participate in double blocks, Custodian and the long legs is 3-6 worth of stats when they block something. Okay, let's try the Custodian. Let's give it a chance. I don't think I'm gonna keep a 6-lander though. That sounds bad. Yeah, let's have a mulligan for the first time now. Now this is better, and well, it's not actually that good because I lack early play, but I'm not gonna mulligan to 5 here. I don't have a double black spell, so that's why I was able to do that. Hey, here's my sideboard card. Let's see, at least they didn't have a 1-drop, nor did they have a 2-drop, and I have a 2-drop now. They were figuring out if they should mulligan for a bit. It seems like they kept a hand without any red mana, so I don't really want to give them the Scry. That trade is fine. I'm gonna play the Basilisk now. I do wanna hit my 4th land, but I also don't wanna give them... if I see them drop a mountain, that's a different thing, of course. But as long as I can play spells other than the Scry one, I'm gonna keep doing that. Still no mountain. Okay. I guess it's time to... Well, no, actually they are now at 3 poison, so I can do this. Yeah, they were figuring out if they should mulligan, because they didn't immediately keep the 7. And now they took a risk, kept a hand without red. And now they got the red, but it's very tough now for them. At least they cannot really pressure my life total. If I draw my 4th land, I can just play the Rot Priest and they're gonna take a ton of poison. That's just a 2-3, but it can be equipped by that thing. It is a 2-4 actually. But it still cannot kill any of these guys, and I got my Rot Priest now, so... Yeah, they're gonna take 4 poison now. And of course this kills anything. Well, they are just facing lethal poison attack now. This gets mana value 3 or less cards, so not gonna save the Rot Priest, but I already have this 2-drop. And I can get the Basilisk back when it dies. That gives them some blockers, for sure. But... Okay, that is now the first time I see the card. What are the 1 mana tricks? There's the one... it's... Don't actually know. What is the cause of action here? I think I wanna just drown in Ichor here. On their rabble. They get a poison. And now they are gonna die. I don't think anything with 1 white mana is gonna help them. Yep. Okay, so the opponent, sadly for them, they had to mulligan to 5 in the game 1, and then in the game 2 they kept the 7 card hand with only planes. And I think this was the only playable spell they had. Yeah, that's the problem when keeping only one sort of... You know, that's the reason I keep picking those Terramorphic expanses so highly. Well, maybe not highly, but very eagerly at least. Because it really, you know, sucks to keep it that kind of hand. They have like multiple red cards in there. So, but that is not... I mean, of course, something like that has happened to me too. But that was a pretty easy event because the final match, which is supposed to be the hardest one, was kind of like 2 maybe non-games, maybe not total non-games because the opponent was able to do something, but then the match 2, the opponent, lost the game 1 and then just disappeared, didn't even finish the match. Match 1 was exciting because I was really losing the game 3 there, but then I was just about able to win it. So at least that was there. And in future I will be continuing to first pick this thing, not just because it's a mythic rare, but it's also a really good card. 7 mana is doable. I will be playing Phyrexia Atlas happily in decks that have 6 or 7 drops. And it was quite nice to get this life loss thing work too. This deck was actually quite capable of giving the corrupted status to the opponent, and I got to benefit from this ability a little bit, but of course even more I was able to benefit from the vital spawning, which is very good when you can corrupt the opponent. I never got to cast this thing, but I think it would have been quite fine in this deck. 14 creatures it's not hard to hit a creature, and you are gonna hit a land or a creature unless you are super unlucky. Alright, well that was it. Let's go and claim the prize here, another trophy run here. And I will see you in the next video then in a couple of days. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.